Apa? Apa dong? Hai, you talk? To you to talk.
This time to you.
Qatar, one of the biggest oil production country in the world. In the middle of 2017, something huge happened and it really damaged the country. What was that? And let's see what is the opinion of Southeast Asia student about it. So check it out. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here with me again, Anissa Putri in our talk, Youth Talk, episode 2. And here with me, our guest, Muhammad Hamka. He's my friend, he's my junior. He's from Political Science Department, IIUM. And today he will be our guest to share some of his thought about an issue that we're going to talk about. So basically, we're going to talk about something that some people might forget about it, but it's still an important concern to talk about because it has given some effect and also consequences to other regions and also their regions. And what is that about? So we're going to talk about the Qatar relationship and dispute with Gulf countries, specifically and particularly with Saudi Arabia. So last summer 2017, there has been an accusation towards Qatar, which is saying that they have been funding terrorism in Palestine. That's it. So they have acknowledged that they support some Islamist groups such as Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, right? Yeah, but they decline and they refuse the claim that they have been funding terrorists in Palestine. And what happened was that many countries cut the relationship with Qatar, and also and obviously it gives some effect to the country as well. So, do you think with this accusation, it's still an accusation, right? It's still an accusation that it haven't been proven that this accusation is right, that they have been funding the terrorists. Do you think that the action that taken by the Arab countries and the Gulf was effective and acceptable in general?
Okay, first of all, we look at this case from the A of as a natural persons. I mean, like, I'm not Saudi Arabian, I'm not Qatarian.
Yeah, we're just a nation, normal nation.
And we just political science students that try to look at these matters in its place. Call it ideal, like these accusations, I think, shouldn't happen for among the Muslim countries, because the first thing that we can do, as mentioned in Al Quran as well, is Fatabayanu, is clarify.
Clarify.
If Qatar denied it, and I think Qatar doesn't have any relationship with the Islamist terrorists that accused by many countries, because as we know, Qatar, they help. It's not only, as I know, it's not only helping the Egyptian. For example, Qatar also helps the Palestinians in this context. But this concern is when they help, I mean, like the oppositions of those countries, it's assumed as the terrorists. So at the first, we have to clarify what is the terrorist meaning.
So let's say, so you want to say that it's not acceptable because
Yes,
it's not have been
acceptable
qualified. Okay.
at all.
And why do you think these Gulf countries they take this action? Why do they think it's an effective action that by cutting the relationship that and then Qatar will withdraw in some.
Because this not only end to the accusations, but it is the blockage. You know, it is the blockage of the economy, blockage the air, blockage the land, and everything. It will really affect Qatar in all of his business, in all his matters. That's why you know the most effective weapon to destroy others is actually not a weapon, but the psychological, then funding, then the
Application?
yeah, I mean, it's not weapon is if you have one weapon, you may kill 100%.
Mhm.
But if you do like this, the political siege, then
Mhm.
the economic siege, you can kill thousand or
Oh, so
more
you are
of it.
saying that political political action is much more harm
Yes.
than weapon. Okay, so what do you think is the basic intention of these Gulf countries to blockade Qatar? Do they have like another purposes behind all of this?
Actually, there are many rumors that
Mhm.
out of there
Yeah,
in the
yeah, we can just
social
generally
media,
sure.
but I think this is not only the intention of that countries, but there are somewhat or some
Like
countries,
some
yes,
countries
behind
behind
this,
it.
yes, because I think they are okay with the existence of Qatar there,
Mhm.
but then Qatar, Qatar has huge media like Al Jazeera.
Okay.
Qatar has huge funding. Then they build many scholarship for
Yeah.
Muslim
True.
students to study in Qatar or in other countries, but pay their funding. And I know that some institution funded by Qatar in Malaysia also.
So it's not only affect the people in Qatar itself, but also affect other.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe it can be. It's even. I bring this context in Indonesia. Dahlan Iskan, because I'm a patronage of Dahlan Iskan. I know Dahlan Iskan was accused by someone in
Mhm.
many cases, but these many cases are not proved.
Okay.
You know why? There is someone behind. It's not only about the business, but it's also about the competitions.
Competition. Exactly. Okay. So, what have you seen since it's been 7 months, 6 months,
Yeah,
right? Since the
since
blockade.
June.
Yeah. So, what has been happened to Qatar specifically, regionally?
Okay.
What do you see?
It is this what I will say is not based on media because I realize it, and then I have experience with my friend also. I know specifically there is some institutions or some like scholarships
Program.
program in Malaysia that funded by partly by Qatar,
Mhm.
Qatar scholarship program. We call it ROF, but since this siege effective, the budget was slowed down.
So, you were just taking a look at the broader impact, but I'm asking was that what happened inside the Qatar itself?
Oh,
Within the
that's
Qatar.
only this week
Mhm.
I met with my friend that his family or he has a friend in Qatar.
Mhm.
You know what the worker in Qatar said before the siege happened.
Yeah.
He can live like luxury or he got the not only enough salary but more than enough
Yeah, more than
salary.
enough salary.
But since that siege effective, now he can say that hey, I only have enough salary, and he doesn't know what will happen in the next month or next 3 months if this siege never be solved.
So based on the experience, the situation is getting worse economically.
Yes.
So their livelihood is getting worse.
Yes.
All right. Exactly. So, why do you think that Qatar is stand firm with their decision? Do you think they will survive with the situation, or they will go down? Just like what you said, within the 6 months itself, the situation is getting worse. What do you think? What they will do? Do you think they will survive or go down to these Gulf countries?
I read my friend's writings that he said, yeah, before it happened, actually, Qatar has like because every country has its decisions toward what is the features, what will be happen in the features. Things Qatar has prepared everything before this happened.
Okay.
But as you know, the siege it's really will affect. But for the long term, I think Qatar will survive
Should
with
survive.
with whatever will
With
be.
whatever they have.
I mean, the scholarship might be there's no scholarship anymore,
Yeah.
or there is no like funding to another word to other countries anymore. But Qatar itself will survive. I believe it.
You believe Qatar will survive in any situation.
Yes.
So why do you think that we have to pay attention to this issue? Like nowadays there are so many issues like in Syria and Palestine, but why particularly we have to pay attention to this Qatar issue? And what is your message to the youth?
Okay, at first we may yeah, I consider Syria is the big issue also, but as I said before that one weapon maybe kill one until 100% or but what happened in Qatar actually it's has bigger impact for actually a Muslim world because when you blockage one nations that help and funding many nations actually not only blockage one nations but you blockage other nations.
Okay.
When you blockage the channel to study then you blockage many things toward this knowledge.
So you're saying like the impact is more long term instead of short term, right?
Even though it is solved but in the long term it will really be the dangerous things
Yeah, it
in
will be
Muslim
more
world.
dangerous. And what is your message to youth for this issue?
To youth,
To be aware.
yeah, I think they have to read a lot. I mean, you know, and then influence other. What you can do the best is actually
Enrich ourselves, right?
yes,
Yeah.
enrich ourselves with knowledge
And then share with the others.
yes,
Yeah.
influence other through social media.
Through social media, exactly. So this is one of the way that we are trying to influence the other through social media. So thanks again for Hamka and for sharing his opinion towards Qatar issue. And we are willing to see you again. Be in some other discussion, upcoming discussion. And that's all for today. We hope it will be beneficial for you and have a good day. And see you again in our station of You Talk. It's time for you to talk.